everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. I know I am. I can't complain. So far this week, things have been going great, so I'll take it. I hope that if you are joining us for the first time, that you are here because you care about mental health, because that is what we talk about. And you're welcome. Welcome. Happy to have you. And if you're someone that's returning, welcome back. That means so much. And the thing about YouTube is you can't tell who it'll say how many views, right? It's not like it's gonna tell me like on Facebook or something like who the viewers were. So, I mean, don't be afraid to leave a comment or anything like that, or like it, use the like button if that's something that you want to say you like. And also don't forget to like and subscribe at the buttons at the bottom before you finish up if you would like to. Okay, so this is Glass Skulls episode 5. I can't even believe we made it all the way to number 5. I feel like I blinked and all of a sudden here I am with number 5. But hey, I'm so happy to be here. I look forward to doing this every week. I don't know how long I'm going to do this for, but as long as there's people viewing it, so literally as long as there's one viewer, I will continue. So, because for me, this has nothing to do with getting a ton of followers or getting any sort of viral video fame or any crap like that. It does not matter to me. That's not why I'm here. So, yeah. Your why, when you think about why do we care about wanting to make changes in the mental health world? Why do we deserve better than we already get, but we don't do anything about it? You need to have a pretty strong why behind you, kind of gassing you up as the thing that's driving you through life. If you're someone who's battling mental illness especially, but the same is true if you have someone close to you that you love that is battling mental illness. So yeah, I think that a big why that everybody could agree with is that it's to fight the stigmas. There are so many stigmas about mental health, and it gets me a little bit heated to talk about some of the topics. So I'm not going to do a deep dive into too many of those stigmas right this second. But what I would pose as my next question to you, if we're fighting the stigmas, how? How do we fight the stigmas? What does that look like? That can look like a lot of things, which is the coolest part, I think. You can, for one, always use your voice, right? You can protest peacefully. You can talk to other people in your world and try to change their mind if they think differently about mental illness, or if they think in the way that some of these people think who believe in these stigmas. You can use your social media as a tool for empowerment and for educating others, because the more that you that's just as much as using your voice as if you were going to a peaceful protest. So you don't necessarily have to be the type of person that feels comfortable or confident wanting to go out, hit the streets, chanting and what have you. You could just be sharing something that, some data that you found on Facebook or something. You could be sharing a link to an event, to a suicide prevention walk. That makes me think that's another way of how. My family this past September, for the first time where I was able to go, 2 years ago, my family went without me because I had COVID, unfortunately. But we went this year as a family, and it was really, really special. It was mostly my husband's family, and my aunt was there, and one of my best friends, Emily. So it was a really awesome day, and it truly just like standing in an event like that, like when okay, so you do the walk, whatever, but like when you get to the part where everybody watches the presentation that they give, just looking around and seeing like a sea of purple shirts, like it just, I don't know, it just made me feel like, okay, wow, I'm standing right now amongst thousands of people that many of them have attempted suicide and lived, just like me. I'm also astutely aware that I am standing beside, folks that have lost someone to suicide. And that's terrible. And that's so hard to cope with. But as you can see, there's a lot of different ways that you can speak up, use your voice, fight the stigmas. So please keep fighting the good fight. Don't be scared, okay? Don't be afraid to share, something from the American Prevention Suicide Hotline data or something. I don't know, any of these places that are reputable that give like the true data on the numbers of people that are committing suicide, people that are attempting suicide, people that are struggling with bipolar, people that are struggling with this, that, the other thing. I could go on all day. But it's just all really important. So that work matters. I wanted to review the strategies that we've learned so far together, because we've learned some very solid ones to start us off. I'm very excited about that. The first one was protecting your peace. And this one I gave a metaphor of your family being like a tree and everyone being on it, good, bad, and ugly, everywhere in between. And you getting to a place in your life where you finally realize, you know what? I am all done being somebody's doormat. Or I am all done with this bitch putting her knife in my back and turning it while she smiles and then tries to call me the next day and act like nothing happened. Like, no, absolutely not. If someone is costing you your peace, so it's making you, not feel peaceful, so really stressed out, really upset, really angry, lots of negative emotions, they can't be in your world. They don't deserve to be, first of all, at all. But, and I'm not saying that it's easy to cut family out of your family. Like, that's a really, really tall order. But I unfortunately came from some situations where I had to take time, where I needed to take out that chainsaw and cut off some limbs of the tree, because it was just weight that I was carrying, and it was hurting me, and it was just giving me even more anxiety, because I was constantly like hyper vigilant of, oh my gosh, what is this person going to do next? Like, she texts me and is really nice, but when we're at Christmas dinner, she gets really drunk and says some like rude shit to me. I don't know. So protecting your peace. That's one. Two was radical acceptance. This one was a little bit tricky. This is the one that's like saying it's not okay at all, whatever happened, but it is what it is. And this took me a really long time to be able to do effectively, but it's now one of the strongest strategies I use, and it works for me every single day of my life. So when thoughts creeping in my head about the sexual assault, for example, I'm able to shut it down and do that so quickly by saying, you know what, like I recognize I'm feeling really anxious or upset right now. This really sucked. This was a terrible thing that happened, but I can choose to just accept that it is what it is, and there's literally nothing we can do to change it. If I had a time machine, huh, I mean, that would probably be my number one pick of what I would change, you know? But none of us have time machines yet. Our third strategy was talking about music, and music is super powerful for everybody. There's something for everybody. So that one, keep that in your back pocket always. Lastly, we talked about last week using your people. So, like good, solid, healthy people for you to go to when you need support and engaging in something you do well. Those are all really, really, really great. The strategy I wanted to show you today is just to kind of dip our toe into the conversation about meditation, because this is a very big conversation. This most likely will take multiple videos. But meditation is something that I've struggled with forever, like that I've been in mental health treatment. I've just always, I don't know, a part of me thought it was like crunchy and I just couldn't get into it, or I don't know, I just never felt the feelings of relief that people have described it to me as being. So I did not give up. My therapist shared with me a meditation called Feet Inside Your Shoes. I'm just going to read just a quick excerpt from Scenes from My Skeleton Closet. It's called Burn the World Down, this chapter. If you are feeling strong emotions and are really dysregulated, I want you to try this with me for a second. Close your eyes and notice the feeling of how the socks on your feet the feeling of the socks on your feet. Focus on that for a few moments, but then shift your focus to feeling what it feels like having our sock covered foot inside your shoe. The meditation continues, moving from one body part to the next, forcing your brain to focus on that in the moment instead of the strong negative emotions you are feeling. So, for example, you might be thinking popcorn thoughts like soft or sweaty, but that is exactly the point. It is a distraction method from the current stressor and a way to try to calm your anxiety and get yourself together. So, Feet Inside Your Shoes was the only meditation, and I think honestly to this day it's still the only one that really works for me, but it works, so I continue to use it. I use it when some like emotion comes out of nowhere, it seems, where I'm really dysregulated. Like all of a sudden I go from like baseline to super, super anxious or something like that. I'll try to ground myself by engaging in that meditation. And the best part is you don't need to have it like played out loud for you. You don't have to say the words out loud. You can just do it all in your head. You could just be sitting. I've done this in chairs at doctor's offices my whole life. You just can sit there and you can just imagine and just keep focusing on one isolated area at a time and focus on what that feels like. There's so many different forms of meditation. I know that there are lots of folks that are religious or, believe in some sort of like karmic, like universal power that's out there. Um, the the most important thing is that when you're meditating, it needs to make you feel like your heartbeat. Like if you put your hand on your chest, like if it started out and it was like fast, 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 as you're doing the meditation, you should be feeling it slow down. So one of the things that I was taught when I was in the hospital by one of the awesome, awesome workers there, his name is Brian. Shout out to Brian. He taught me to literally put my hand like over like my chest, because then I'd be able to really just focus on the heartbeats. And then it really, even just doing that is enough to distract you from where you were a few moments ago. And, the more that we're able to learn how to use these strategies and skills independently to help ourselves when we need them, the more successful lives we're going to lead, because we're going to be able to have more independence. And that's that's the name of the game. So, I wish I had a lyric picked out for today, but it's already been over 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop here. But I will come with double lyrics next time. Okay? I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you next time. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.